So I'm going to, in my sketchbook, take my circle and go ahead and trace it twice. So there's once and there's twice. Okay. And then once you have this done, now you can go ahead and start, maybe this is my number 1 attempt and maybe this is my number 2 attempt. So what I would recommend you doing, and this is where you can use your Chromebook if needed to kind of help you create letters. So if you remember, we used the light table. Let me see if I can get my Chromebook up and going. Okay, so if you take a look at my Chromebook, I made a Google slide, okay, and then I put a circle on it, and I made that circle gray just so I could see it. And then I experimented with different fonts, and my initials used to be AM, and so that's what I was used to for a while. So instead of doing AV, for some reason I just went with AM. And you can change your font around, change the size, but again, you choose your initials, you choose your name. It doesn't matter to me as long as your name is a part of your design. Okay. And then all I did was I made my screen much brighter. So you can adjust the lightness and darkness of your screen so you can kind of make it like a light table. And then I made my circle on the background big enough. I hit Control+ to enlarge. And so I made it, that's too big. That's better. Okay. And then I put my circle on my screen so that my font was the size I wanted it, and then I traced it. Okay, so I traced it, and this is what I now have. Okay, so back to my paper then. Instead of tracing it right on here, I really should have taken my piece of paper out of my sketchbook. And I really should have traced this first on here, okay? So once you have your letters all traced on here, okay, let's say this is the A, and this is the M. But again, trace it nice and neat, use the font you want, but so it's my sketch, it's to test an idea. And then maybe I want to test putting some lines in here like this. I don't know, maybe I want to draw some people. Okay, maybe I want to draw bunches of people back here. I don't know. So I'm going to experiment. Look at all these heads. I have no idea who these people are. Actually, I do. Oh, now it's like a flower. Maybe these faces represent students. Okay. And then maybe I don't know, maybe I want to put the sun in here somehow. Maybe I want to do some other designs over here, but you want to think about balance. You don't want to just randomly start putting things in here without balancing out your design. So typically I'll tell students that you need to repeat things to get a good design, because repetition is one of our principles of design. So just because you have something one area, to create that unity, sometimes we put it in other areas as well. Okay, so again, this is just a quick sketch. And I would kind of keep going with this and see what I come up with. Do I like it? Do I not? Okay, so once I have this done, then I'm going to go on to another one. But again, I will, just how I sketched my initials on here, I would hold this back up to my screen and sketch my initials on here. Okay, then I would experiment again with another sketch, get my sketch on there. Okay, then once I have what I'm going to do as my final design, that's really when I should have been taking this circle, my clean blank circle, and this over to the light table and then tracing from my sketchbook and putting it on my good circle. Okay, so I kind of got ahead of myself when I showed you earlier to hold this up to your screen. Okay, so you really want to put your initials on the sketchbook, draw your design here, and then trace it onto here. Once you have that, then you're going to go ahead and decide how are you going to start painting this in, or using markers, or using colored pencils, or using oil pastels. What mediums are you going to use to turn this into a wonderful original work of art? Okay, so that's really the guidance you need to turn this into your own project. Just know that yours is going to come out looking different than the person sitting next to you, and that's totally okay.